Hello everyone, Untitled tonight. I'm your host Loretta McNary, and we have a great topic, one that you're going to want to go and get pen and pencil, but make sure you write down this date because you're definitely going to want to be a part of this event. Not only is it good for you in a health kind of way, but it's also good for the community. But before we go any further and divulge any more information, let me welcome my very special guests, Ms. Rhonda Turner and Elder Brown. Welcome to On Cable tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So we're getting ready for the GE Patterson 5K Walk Run for Life,
Absolutely.
Benefiting infant mortality initiatives here in the city?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Correct.
Benefiting infant mortality reduction initiatives here in Memphis and Shelby County.
Okay.
So as you well know,
Yeah.
because you've been actively involved in those initiatives across here, you know, we rank exceptionally high with infant mortality, infant deaths here in Shelby County. And so this is one way to get the community more involved, because a lot of people ask the question, what can I do?
Right.
They hear about the statistics and they hear about these alarming numbers, and their first thing is, well, I hear the numbers, but what can I really do?
What can I do? And just to back it up and to really lay the groundwork for how crucial and critical this is for a lot of people who have not heard the term. Well, you heard it, you don't know what it is. Infant mortality is when a baby dies before they turn 1 year old.
Absolutely.
They don't get to celebrate that first birthday. Parents don't get to, get that first haircut. And that's just something that everybody looks forward to. Well, if a baby dies from birth before 1 year old, it's called infant mortality. And as you have said, Tennessee is actually ranked number 46 in the nation.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then of course Shelby County, we're even higher than that, you know, across all counties in the country.
We are.
So, we have some serious issues
We have a
to deal with here.
12.6% rate, and it's calculated by every baby that's born per 1,000 live births. Then the percentage is how many of those die out of those 1,000.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that means we had 120 some babies die every year in Shelby County from infant mortality.
So from firsthand experience in your work.
Yeah,
you're
working with
it.
Girls Inc. They had a grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm the coordinator for that. And we just did a lot of work, and partners. It's so many people that are working so hard to really get awareness going and to raise funds so we can get parents and expectant mothers information so that we can just stop this totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's this was one way that Evangelist Louise Patterson wanted to be able to give back to the community, actually getting the community involved in order to help themselves.
Right.
So, what better way to do it with a health-oriented activity?
Right.
And Elder Brown came to Evangelist Patterson with this wonderful ideal of a walk run. We have so many people getting involved in walking now and running now. I understand it's just those, what is it, endorphins or whatever it conjures
that
up
release of those really happy hormones that help you just keep going and just live to the fullest.
Absolutely.
And so,
I understand once you do it, you're hooked. You're addicted.
So your body requires it. I'm a living witness, whether you want to or not. It's just those endorphins that it's time to go walk, it's time to move.
So this is a perfect activity for those people who want to even start out. They can start out with this event. They're doing something to help themselves and to help other people as well. Yeah.
So what was your motivation, your inspiration for wanting? I mean, there are a lot of causes. There are tons, and Memphis is known for a lot of things. But what was the initiative that your mind thought that said, let's do something to raise awareness about infant mortality?
Well, how it all happened, really, when Bishop Patterson was ill, Sister Patterson asked me, as a registered nurse, and my wife is a registered nurse as well, but she gave me permission to be with Bishop at night as his night nurse.
Okay.
And as I watched him and noticed his humble spirit, how he suffered and didn't do a lot of complaining at all, and so the Lord was just stirring me up to have such a respect for someone that loved so much, but was suffering in his last days. And after he passed away and everything, the Lord just touched me and said, hey, there's a lot of unhealthy people in our community, and there's a lot of health prevention work that needs to be done. Yeah. So I went to her and explained how it all came to pass, and she said, that sounds great. And every year we want to do something in the health preventive category.
Okay.
And I felt like, as you all have stated, it will encourage some people who haven't been exercising regularly to begin to walk, to run. They'll come up with some activity to combat even obesity, to combat just becoming a couch potato.
Right, because again, Shelby County has one of the highest rates of obesity, you know, in the nation.
Exactly.
So this is really a twofold walk then. You become more healthy as an individual, and then you help create awareness and raise funds for something that is so critical in our neighborhood, and that's babies.
Exactly.
You know, help save them.
You will also be able to learn what you can do beyond just contributing funds.
Right.
What can you do to help in your own community? We'll have individuals from the Shelby County Infant Mortality Reduction Initiative, All Babies Count. They'll be there to share information and tools and resources. Of course, Porter Leaf, that is the recipient of the funds. 100% of all the proceeds will go to benefit Infant Mortality Reduction Initiatives with Porter Leaf, and we'll have someone on a little bit later to talk about that with you. So we're really excited. People can come and they can be educated, they can feel healthy for that particular day, and they can get energized.
Yes, and have fun too, because those walks are a lot of fun. You see people you hadn't seen in forever, and then you meet a lot of new friends.
Create new partnerships, and relationships,
that brings people together.
And this 5K walk run, Bishop was such a lover of people. Whether you were black, white, old or young, teenager. But he had a special love for the little children and the infants.
And you know what? I got to say this. And you didn't have to be a member of his church.
Exactly.
He was the most loving man. I would see him at Whole Foods a lot. And he would always share a word. And, you know, he acknowledged, you know, he remembered me and the boys. And he was just an awesome man. Just
and very genuine. That's who he was. It wasn't airs or anything like that. Very genuine.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't drink that green stuff. He said, I don't like it, but it keeps me healthy.
Well, you know, his wife is the same way. Very approachable, very just wanting to give back and wanting to benefit the community, because they have been blessed immensely, and she wanted to be able to give back and bless the community.
So I like that you all are saying it's for the community. You know, this is not about a church or denomination.
Absolutely.
We want everybody to come take a part. It's about life.
It's about
yours and that of babies that are here and those that are yet to come.
Absolutely. And doing nothing is not an option, because when we sit back and we see that we rank so high with infant deaths, then as you well know, to take care of a sick baby, one that wasn't born healthy, is the financial cost is so much greater to the community than for a child that's alive.
And the sad part is, and I don't know why, we've done a lot of extensive research, African Americans really have the highest rate in Shelby County. African American babies die almost 3.5 times that of any other race. Any other race. It doesn't matter how much education you have, and as we know, this can happen to anybody.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because a lot of people have this misconception about the face of infant mortality.
It is not the poor and uneducated or the teenage African American parent or white parent. It can happen to anybody. You can do all the right things.
Which is why I was so disappointed when ABC News did that baby line.
It gave it one side.
It gave it one, and then it gave this one view of what infant mortality is. And as you said, it crosses ethnic groups,
every line.
Socio-ethnic, you know, your financial status. It crosses all boundaries.
It does. And everybody, because we also did a genealogy study just to get parents, the teens talking with their parents to say, hey mom, why did so-and-so's baby die? And now we know that's infant mortality, because simply they died, you know, not any will of their own or at the hands of somebody, but of course negligence or not knowing caused the death of infant mortality a lot. But it can happen to anybody, anybody. So we don't want people to think you're in a safety zone or that you're more prone to it. We want everybody to come out and get this information, because this can reduce and at some point in time eradicate it totally.
Well, that's the goal ultimately, isn't it? Make sure that you know we have healthy mothers and healthy fathers who are giving birth to healthy babies, you know, at the appropriate time of life.
2 Sundays ago, the Commercial Appeal had an article. It was stating that mothers who are pregnant and they are, you know, obese, that they are at risk for their infants, you know, succumbing to infant mortality. And I just, after this whole thing of infant mortality, really, because the children, the infants and the children, they are our future. They're our tomorrow. And I say, well, what better way to celebrate Bishop Gilbert Earl Patterson's legacy than supporting infant
babies,
right.
saving lives.
Saving lives.
And our own.
Yeah.
And our own. And that is, I just can't tell people enough about, and there's so many community partners now that are really working hard to just really reduce those numbers and create awareness and education. And it's little things like, taking folic acid before you even get pregnant, getting your weight down before you even become pregnant, eating healthy before you become pregnant.
Right.
And that's not only for, teenagers, but that's for women. Any woman that's at childbearing age, they say, to have a positive birth outcome, folic acid, reduce your weight, and go please get your prenatal vitamins and your prenatal care. It's critical. Even if you've had babies before, I know how it goes. You need to go to those early appointments.
Well, it's like you just established. It takes place long before you become pregnant.
Yes.
You need to be a healthy individual. And part of that information that we're hoping to share during the walk, during the day of the walk, by the way, is September 11th. September 11th at Shelby Farm. So it's a beautiful location. It's going to be a beautiful day, inviting everyone to come out. But part of what we're hoping to share with people is the fact that you need to be doing things today.
Yes.
If you are possibly looking at having children in the future, men and women, not just women.
Yeah, because that's another thing. We have to include the males because we all know it takes two people.
That's right.
And whatever the father does impacts the health of the baby as well.
It takes a healthy sperm and a healthy egg. Yeah.
It takes everybody being as healthy. And I say, just by the grace of God, all my sons were born healthy.
Yeah.
Because we just don't understand what can happen because of the decisions we make. And another thing that we found out, young mothers feed their babies what they eat, because sometimes they just don't know that hot chips and Coke, that's not a nutritious diet. So we can't point fingers and say that. We're to walk along beside them and say, you know what, let's look at the nutritional value on these chips. It's not good. Do you know what this can cause? Instead of, it's done. The pregnancy has happened. What we need to do now is stop pointing fingers and blaming whoever and just walk beside these young people and older people and be supportive.
Absolutely.
It's hard raising children.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very difficult.
It's hard raising a healthy child, let alone a sick child. So can you think about the stress, the added stress and burden it is on a young mother who has a sick baby?
Absolutely. And thank God that technology has come a long way, because when I was having babies, a 5-month-old pregnancy baby could not live. If you had your baby prior to 7 months or 8 months, then the chances of that baby making it were slim and none. Now, because of the technology and that beautiful place over there called a med, the NICU, they have babies over there who are born at 1 pound 6 ounces, who grow to 5 pounds, who get to go home. Sometimes there are complications and sometimes not. But because there are so many people, talking about this and creating areas where babies can, live and have a chance at life.
Well, that's what this is all about. This is about life. This is about what you can do within your own being, within your own community.
And everybody can do something.
Everybody can
You may
do something.
never want to have a baby, or you've had all your babies. But there are other people who need your help, your knowledge, your compassion, your sensitivity, your wisdom.
Or just your listening ear.
Your listening ear. So come to this walk. It's going to be fun. And you say, well, I've never walked before. I'm not in shape. You don't have to do it like Speedy Gonzalez.
No.
You don't. You take your time.
Take your time at your own pace.
However long it takes you to do 5K, it's about 3-point-something miles. 3.1 miles.
See, this is the expert on that.
I've done my share. I know it's more than 3.
The walk is a little less than the 3.1. It's not as long at all. It's around Patriot Lake.
Oh, yeah,
and then
beautiful.
The Chickasaw Run will be the 5K. And it's around the lake too. But it's through the scenery and
it's beautiful.
And
there's no bad spot at Shelby Farms.
And so we are encouraging people, even those who don't have the ability to be able to walk or to be able to run, to still come out, and take advantage of all the activities that will be going on, and then the beautiful scenery.
And just enjoy, because there'll be, I'm sure, a lot of activities, a lot of music, a lot of energy. We got to take a break though, because we got to bring on Mr. War and talk about Port Elite, because they're, the beneficiaries, one of the many, because we are and the babies are. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Get up to a 100% scholarship to college and up to $60,000 in assistance. Get paid to learn valuable job skills. Maybe make an extra 20 grand when you join. All while you serve your community and your country. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org. Life's this hard, graduating can be even harder, but you can help David and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me.
I think it might be one of the monitors.
Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did? Are you on your way to the mall? Lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
I'm so glad you stayed with us because we shared a lot of information, but there's even more to come. Please help me welcome to the On Cable Tonight studio, Mr. Mike War. Thank you. And you're with Port Elite.
I'm with Port Elite and have been for about 11 years.
Okay.
And we're just delighted to be